Hello, and welcome to Every Way Woman. And we have Pat Harrington with us today. Now, Pat, you adopted a daughter, and you were a single mother in the 1980s. So you adopted a daughter from another country way before it was trendy. Yeah, way before Angelina Jolie and them started doing it.
True.
So what made you, what even made you think about going to Korea to adopt a child?
Well, I was a single parent, and I started looking into adoption in the 1970s, and at that time, single people were only offered children that were not wanted by couples. And so the only children that were available to me, this was back in New York State, were older teenage girls. And I wanted a younger child, and so I ended up working through an adoption agency that had been founded by Pearl Buck for hard-to-place children, and they would accept single parents' applications. And my daughter was considered hard to place because she was 6 years old.
Okay. So, Ms. Harrington, actually, I want to call you Miss Pat. I'm old school, and my mama said, "Woman of wisdom, you don't call by their first name." So, Miss Pat, when you say hard to place, back in the 80s, it was if they really wanted babies. So, what was the age? Anything over 2 or 3 were they not placing?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure what, at the airport when I met my daughter, I flew to New York City and met her getting off the plane from Korea. The other people that were there were men, women, single people, some older couples. Back then there were no same-sex marriages.
Right.
And all the children that I met coming off the plane were older children,
So this
which was like over age 5.
Was this the first time you had ever met her, or had you seen a picture? Or?
I had received a picture 2 months before.
Wow.
Wow.
And so they just told you this is the child for you, and that was the match?
Yes.
And then how did it go at the airport when you saw her?
Well, I don't know whether you're going to use them, but I did bring some pictures of that. And Madison, they are here for you to use if you wish to.
Now, did she speak English?
No.
Because how was it
She
communicating with
She
us?
knew no English. I had tried to learn some Korean. That was a total failure.
I can imagine. That would be hard.
I went around for, one of the words that I learned was apuni, which meant, "Are you hungry?" So I would ask her, "Apuni, apuni." And when she learned English, she told me that she thought I was telling her I was pregnant. And she kept waiting for this baby to be born.
You know what, Miss Pat? In all honesty, she only needed to know yes, no, and stop. That was all you needed to know. I wanted to ask you a question because we had a wonderful conversation in Green Room. You were talking about she is now adopting a child of color. And I wanted to get your perspective because sometimes you hear you should adopt someone that looks like you. But I believe as long as you can provide a great home. And so I applaud you. So talk about your grandbaby born.
Well, I have not seen my grandbaby. She was only born yesterday.
Congratulations.
She is in Cleveland, Ohio. My daughter and son-in-law flew there yesterday to meet her. And I'm leaving Monday to go meet her myself. So I have not seen her. I've only seen a picture.
You must
and I'm
be
looking
so
forward
proud
to it.
because that
I'm
shows
so
that
excited.
obviously adoption works because she wants to adopt a child.
Absolutely.
Are you
Oh,
excited
that
to
is
be a
beautiful.
grandmother?
I've been waiting a long time, longer than my daughter would like me to admit.
Was it easy raising your daughter?
There were a lot of things that were easier about it in that I did not have a husband who could contradict me and tell me what I was doing wrong, so it was only my opinion. I was a very fortunate person. I was a school teacher, an elementary school teacher.
So you had a lot of experience with
And
kids.
she arrived at the end of June, and so I had the whole summer to be with her. And she was school age, so because of my calendar being school calendar and her calendar, I didn't have a lot of daycare issues.
So there is hope for you, Natasha. Adoption is an option, girl.
Thank you so much, Pat.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll be right back, and when we come back, we're going to have Michelle Rivera with us from Hollywood to Mommywood.